What a mess. Every year these suits claim they have a new game changer, but this time, brother, they actually pulled out some hardware worth discussing. Revolvers are coming back. Can you believe that junk? Makes me think of the days when a gun actually had some steel in it. Plus, these carry guns are getting complicated with all their compensators and optics cuts. Listen up, because if you wait until the next election cycle hits, prices on this stuff are going to look like sticker shock at the gas pump. I'm cutting through the marketing hype right now. This is what's real, what's useful, and what's probably going to be impossible to find by Christmas. Smith & Wesson 940 Snub Nose. This ain't some plastic toy. This is a piece of history dragged back into the light, and thank God they didn't mess up the basic recipe. Smith & Wesson is bringing back the 940 Snub Nose, originally launched way back in 1991 when all the fools were ditching wheel guns for semi-autos. The original pitch was packing 9mm instead of the old reliable 3/8 special. It disappeared in 1998, but now it's roaring back with serious upgrades that matter. It's built on the Magnum JA frame, featuring that tough stainless steel 5-shot cylinder, but now it's got VZ black cherry diamond grips. Those grips actually support your fingers properly, a detail most manufacturers forget until you're bleeding out. The XS tritium sights make target acquisition fast for a snubby, which is saying something. And here's the brass tack. Moon clips let you reload those 5 rounds of 9mm almost as fast as swapping a magazine, which is a damn good feature for a revolver. Range testing showed it hitting paper plates at 10 yards, grouping around 3 inches with the Winchester 147 grain load. The all-steel construction means it weighs 25.6 ounces fully loaded. Despite spitting the more powerful 9mm, it manages recoil more like a 3/8 special. Those VZ grips leave the backstrap exposed for better concealment while giving you excellent control during rapid fire. This revolver punches well above its weight class, which is what you want when the chips are down. If you can find this thing without the price gouging, grab it. While this blast from the past is a solid defensive tool, the next item is aimed squarely at the plinking crowd that still has some cash left over after paying the bills. Retail Arms RXP22. Retail Arms, a Turkish outfit, is swinging hard into the rimfire market. The RXP22 brings features usually found on expensive hardware down to the affordable .22 long rifle segment. It's built with a chrome-coated AISI 4140 steel barrel and a hard-coat anodized polymer frame. It's available with threaded barrels in either 4 inches or 4.33 inches, meaning suppressor enthusiasts finally have an optics-ready option that won't empty your savings account. The frame includes an integrated Picatinny rail for accessories, and the slide takes RMR and RMSC optic footprints directly. No adapter plates junk here, thank the Lord. Ambidextrous manual safety handles both lefties and righties without making compromises. Magazine options range from 10 to 18 rounds, giving you flexibility depending on whether you're training or just trying to thin the local varmint population. Adjustable rear sights paired with that threaded barrel make it a unique platform for plinking or small game hunting. Weighing just 603 grams, the lightweight design helps when your old bones are tired after an extended range session. The trigger breaks cleanly at 1.8 kilograms, which is decent performance straight from the factory floor. Retake clearly studied what shooters actually want in a rimfire pistol and delivered that precise combination of features and affordability. This Turkish import is sharp, but if you need something that handles optics better right out of the box, we need to look at what Springfield is doing with their carry guns. Springfield Armory Echelon 4.0C. Compris. Springfield's Echelon line just got a compact carry variant that somehow doesn't sacrifice firepower. The 4.0 comp packs an integral single-port compensator right into the slide assembly. It redirects those hot gases upward to flatten the muzzle rise during rapid strings, which means less time waiting for the sights to settle after each shot. That 4-inch hammer-forged barrel has a melanite finish, maintaining velocity while keeping overall dimensions carry-friendly. The big deal here is that revolutionary variable interface system that eliminates adapter plates, mounting popular red dots directly to the slide. I tell you folks, ditching the adapter plate mess is a win for the common man. The tritium U-dot iron sights co-witness perfectly, ensuring you always have a backup aiming solution. Springfield's central operating group houses the serialized fire control components in a robust, self-contained unit smart engineering for maintenance, not just carrying. The small grip module accommodates various hand sizes while maintaining a 15-round flush magazine capacity. If you need grunt, the included 18-round extended magazine transforms this compact into a duty-sized powerhouse. At just 24 ounces with the flush magazine, it disappears under concealment garments surprisingly well for the capacity it holds. The billet machine slide wears that same melanite finish, shrugging off holster wear and any weather you put it through. Priced around $649, Springfield positions this competitively against other compact options while tossing in features usually reserved for the higher-end junk. This compact compensator is a strong contender for the pocket, but if you want pistol-caliber carbine power in a package that feels like an AR, we have to talk about PSA's latest offering. PSA Saber ARV. Palmetto State Armory's Saber ARV shows what happens when you take billet construction and apply it to a blowback 9mm operation. That 8-inch chrome moldy barrel has a nitride treatment and feeds into a 7.25-inch Saber QD rail finished in burnt bronze Cerakote. The slick side upper receiver, machined from 7075 T60 aluminum, wears moss green Cerakote over hard coat. Anodizing it looks tough. The Radiant Raptor LT charging handle makes manipulation smooth and positive, which is nice when your arthritis is kicking in. PSA equipped this platform with their 2-stage DLC-coated trigger, using JP reduced power springs for a crisp break that you can actually feel. The Maxim Defense roller-delayed buffer system is what tames the recoil impulses that typically plague straight blowback designs. It smooths things out considerably. Battle arms, development pivot, and takedown pins add premium touches throughout the build, which is a nice bonus on a PSA firearm. The Radiant Talon 45x90 safety selector provides ambidextrous controls for rapid manipulation. The SBA-4 pistol brace adjusts for different shooting positions and body types, which is important if you're not built like a 20-year-old range monkey. Last round bolt hold-open functionality reminds shooters when magazines run dry, a feature you shouldn't have to live without. It's compatible with both PSA KVU-9 and CZ Scorpion magazines, meaning ammo feeding proves reliable across various brands. At around $1,299, this represents serious value in the pistol-caliber carbine market, especially with that billet machining. While the ARV is great if you want 9mm in a rifle platform, the next piece is a revolver that decided to carry extra thunder. Smith & Wesson JF Frame Series. When you say the word snub-nosed revolver out loud, the Smith & Wesson J-Frame is the exact silhouette that pops into your brain, brother. These little workhorses have earned their reputation the hard way. We are talking about decades of proven service. Think of them like that beat-up cast-iron skillet in your kitchen. It might not be the prettiest thing on the rack, but it cooks the steak perfect every single time. They are low maintenance, they are dependable, and they are built to endure absolute abuse. You can shove one of these into a pocket holster, carry it through the humidity of July and the lint of a denim pocket for months, and it will still function. You do not need to run it wet or baby the finish. But here is the real tactical advantage, the thing the semi-auto guys often overlook. If you find yourself in a bad breath distance struggle, a contact shot scenario, you can jam the muzzle of this revolver directly into the threat and the cylinder will still rotate. It will fire every single time. You try that move with your striker-fired pistol, and you're going to push that slide out of battery. And the only thing you're going to get is a dead trigger click, right when you desperately needed a bang. That is a real-world life-saving capability you don't get with flimsy plastic. That is why the J-frame remains the standard bearer for reliability. While the J-frame is a classic 5-shooter, the next model bumps that capacity to 6 rounds and brings a softer shooting caliber to the table. Ruger LCR in 32H and R Magnum Lipsy's exclusive. Next on the bench, let's take a look at a really slick setup from Ruger. This is the Lipsy's exclusive edition of the LCR chambered in 32 Harrington and Richardson Magnum. Now that cartridge has been making a very quiet resurgence lately, and for good reason. It offers legitimate defensive ballistics, especially out of these short barrels, without punishing your hand like a full-house 35-7 Magnum. This LCR comes equipped with those Hogue to Mare grips, which do a phenomenal job of eating up the recoil impulse. The gun weighs in just shy of 14 ounces. Ruger claims the felt recoil is roughly 30 to 40% less than a standard 3/8 special in a similar platform, and from my time testing it on the firing line, I would say that math checks out. I have shot 3/8 snub noses that felt like catching a fastball without a glove. This platform is much more forgiving. The star of the show here is Ruger's patented friction-reducing cam system in the fire control group. It delivers this buttery smooth, non-stacking double-action trigger pull. It is an outstanding option for new shooters and for old wheel gun fanatics like myself. But here is the kicker. Capacity is 6 rounds. You gain 1 extra round over the standard J-frame. And look at the versatility. It runs the 32H and R Magnum, but it will also feed and fire 32 Smith & Wesson long and even the vintage 32 Smith & Wesson. That opens up a massive inventory of low-recoil ammo for training drills. The bronze anodized aluminum frame paired with that matte black cylinder gives it a very sharp two-tone appearance. It is dehorned, completely zero sharp edges to snag on your cover garment or your holster. Honestly, I did not expect to be as impressed with this one as I was. I was skeptical about the caliber initially, but this little revolver made a believer out of me. It is that solid, but if you need that triple caliber versatility in a slightly bigger package from the same maker, we have to talk about the Bodyguard. Smith & Wesson M&P Bodyguard. Now, if I had to draft a list of the top pocket revolvers available right this second, the Smith & Wesson Military and Police Bodyguard would definitely make the cut. This is chambered in the ubiquitous 3/8 Special, bringing you that proven stopping power you expect from the brand. This is a tool built for carry, not for sitting in a safe waiting for the apocalypse. Weighing in around 14 ounces, it is a little chunky for a loose pocket, so investing in a quality holster is non-negotiable. But with a 1.9-inch barrel and an overall length of 6.6 inches, concealment is effortless. Like most true snub-nose designs, this is double action only. However, the trigger stroke is consistent and very manageable, even if you're just dipping your toes into the revolver world. It arrives with a standard black ramp front sight and a fixed rear notch. It isn't winning any beauty contests, but it is more than functional inside of 10 yards. And let's be real, that is the distance where defensive encounters actually happen. What I really appreciate is the internal hammer design. It means there's absolutely nothing to hook on your shirt during the draw. That is one less variable to stress over when your heart rate is redlining. Plus, the cylinder release is ambidextrous. That is a very thoughtful engineering touch for all the southpaw shooters out there. You can source various grip modules, from basic polymer all the way up to models with integrated Crimson Trace laser systems. Every variant holds 5 rounds with that stainless steel cylinder and that clean trigger brake. The Bodyguard checks every single box for a trustworthy defensive revolver. This is a budget-friendly workhorse, but if you want premium machining and you don't mind paying for it, Kimber has stepped into the arena. Kimber K6S. Yeah, you probably did not expect to see the name Kimber on a list of snub-nosed revolvers. To be honest with you, neither did I until I actually got my hands on the K6S and sent some lead downrange. And let me tell you, Kimber was not just testing the waters when they engineered this wheel gun. This thing is purpose-built for concealed carry, and it is obvious they listened to what shooters actually requested. It is compact enough to stow away anywhere, but it retains enough mass to mitigate recoil and keep you on target. And I have to say, it is a handsome firearm. You almost feel guilty hiding it under a t-shirt. Now, Kimber claims their 2-inch barrel, K6S, is the lightest 6-shot revolver chambered for .357 Magnum currently on the market. And while lightest usually translates to painful, don't worry. This rig tips the scales at a very respectable 23 ounces. That extra heft is what tames that Magnum snap way better than you would predict. Even with 6 rounds on deck, the cylinder width is surprisingly narrow. They did some very clever machining on that stainless steel cylinder to flatten the sides so it carries more like a 5-shooter inside the waistband. You're getting clean lines from muzzle to grip. No sharp corners, nothing to snag on the draw stroke. The hammer is fully shrouded, giving you that sleek profile, ideal for deep carry. And the trigger, for a double-action-only mechanism, it is shockingly polished. Kimber tuned it to break right around 9 pounds, and once you learn the rhythm, you can run this gun fast. But here's the real standout feature: the sights. We are talking about actual dovetail front and rear iron sights, not just a trench mile into the top strap. That feature alone places it leagues ahead of most subcompact revolvers. You have options too. The standard stainless model is the entry point, but you can upgrade to the DCR variant with those gorgeous rosewood grips and a little extra refinement. No matter which SKU you grab, you are getting a seriously capable fighting revolver that should last you until the grandkids inherit it. That is the rundown, boys. We looked at 8 pieces of hardware that aren't just tactical fluff. These are tools. A dependable wheel gun is still the smartest tactical choice when your nerves are shot and your arthritis is acting up. Do you trust the tried-and-true reliability of the J-frame? Or are you willing to gamble on the extra capacity and complex systems of these new striker-fired rigs? Stay safe out there.